Hey folks, how's it going? Check it out. As you know, we're doing another candidate interview. I have a very special guest today. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosa Diaz. I am a city council candidate for District 8.
Okay. So, what got you started with politics or activism? What's your start in this whole thing?
Yes. Why I decided it was time. Um, I think the current situation, the presidential election in November, that it hit me. It's like, Rosa, if it's not you, it's not gonna happen. Our families, our friends need someone strong, need someone that have been doing the work, that is outside every single day, helping, supporting, engaging with everyone, with papers, without papers, legally here in this country. I have friends and families that literally call me every single day, and I'm like, I have to do it. I mean, there is absolutely no one else that know my community other than me. I know everyone will need my help, and I'm ready. I'm ready to keep on continuing the work to help everyone.
All right, cool. I appreciate that. Now, the thing is that there's different people who have different political ideologies. Some people might say that they're a socialist or a capitalist. That's a little bit more rare. You might have people say that they are conservative or liberal or progressive or these different terms. Do you have a political ideology yourself?
Um, I am for the people. Whatever political ideology the people have or are, whatever my community needs me for to fight and advocate, which I'm still doing every single day, I'm there. Doesn't matter of any political um, title that you might have.
I
I'm there
understood.
to support everyone.
All right. So I actually agree with that. Just to let you know myself, from being actual hands-on myself, I find that the labels are insufficient because people end up doing whatever they want anyways, right? So
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
justify it within their framework
Hmm.
somehow. Okay. So another question is, if it's sometimes people are influenced by someone that they learned about who's an activist or someone who's or maybe someone they've seen or worked with. Who's influential to your political thoughts or your leadership?
The people.
Okay.
The people are my everything. My community are my everything. I have been here for the past 25 years in a week or so, and I am super excited. Every day is another opportunity to help someone in need, and I am not getting paid for any of the work, and I don't need to get paid for any of the work. I am more than ready and willing to continue in the work regardless of any outcome. I'm going to still be here. I'm going to still be advocating. And I'm going to still be willing all the time. Everyone has my cell phone, my personal email. It's all over social media, it's all over Google. So I'm available. No
I
one
pre-
can say, Rosa, you didn't respond to my question or you didn't respond to my phone call. I'm available and ready.
okay. So what are the accomplishments that you're most with regards to leadership and or management, right? That you're most proud of achieving?
I have so many. I have so many where I was able, and that was just recent. I was able to provide permanent housing for a father that lost his wife in a shooting. Then that father, for some reason, there was fire in his household. He was able to support their children through the trauma of the mom dying. Reach out to me because someone provided my phone number. Call Rosa, she might be able to help you. I got on an email thread. I'm like, can I have support? That's all I need to say. And I need it now. And it took probably like a month, but that father is much better
Okay.
with his two children and living comfortably. I'm still in contact, by the way.
I appreciate it. One definition of politics is knowing who to talk to get the job done. So, in this case, it seems that definitely applies. It doesn't have to be just that example. Is there any other accomplishments that you want to bring? I know you said there's so many, right? Maybe that
There
you
are.
also showcase a different side of, your expertise or your
Yes.
leadership style.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I am a fighter, right? I cannot sit down while someone else is needing help and is asking me, "Hey Rosa, can you help me?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Let's see. Let's study what's the problem, right? Let's come up with strategies." Um I was recently able to save a young person from committing suicide because of my parent roles. I'm able to support families better knowing their own children. I don't have to have a medical degree. I don't have to have a diploma, a doctorate, or anything like that. I know people. I am out there. Let me know how I can help you. I don't know everything. I don't know every single person's struggles, but I'm here to help you. I'm always ready.
All right. So actually, I'm going to actually throw a bunch of policy questions at you now. The thing is that I like to put my allies first. After that, we're going to talk about maybe your specialty areas or other things that come up during our conversation. But first, I like to put my allies first. So first, I'm going to ask you about right now. There's public housing. There's one of the developments called Fulton Chelsea Homes and houses, and they're scheduled for demolition. And they're actually scheduled to end public housing as we know it. You may be aware of this. It sounds like you're involved with some of the housing arena. That's kind of like getting knocked around, but the by destroying Fulton Chelsea homes, that would actually cause the people to lose their history of tenancy in those apartments, which will be used as another vehicle to try to prevent them from getting access to public housing, which houses our most vulnerable residents, veterans, people with disabilities, right?
Mhm.
So, would you support a halt to the demolition of Fulton Chelsea houses?
No, absolutely not. I
Okay.
mean, it's common sense. We need to support people into staying in first affordable homes, right? Secure homes, the surrounding areas of the community that you know. We don't want anyone. We don't want to privatize communities and have developers make more money than they already have. Um, we need to come up with solutions and to building more homes, for building more reliable, accountable apartments, and they're safer not just for one individual, but for a family, right? Right now, if a person is single, maybe they want to have kids. We don't know that, so we need to provide more reliable and stop destroying and demolishing all these um, developments, and just try to come up with a better solution of repairs faster, obviously.
Okay. There's probably some more other things that we'll talk about probably like at the end regarding more of the housing stuff. I'm kind of like someone a specialist in that field. But I do, your people at Fulton Chelsea definitely appreciate your answer right there as in terms of, once again, trying to protect their homes. I think I'm in contact with the new tenant association president. I know that you're actually, Fulton Chelsea is not directly in your district, but there are other, I sent you an email recently. What is it? Um, what, there's several uh, public housing projects that are actually in your district. So maybe we can actually establish a relationship there. Okay,
Absolutely.
great. The next question will be the thing is that I also work with people that are wrongfully incarcerated, including Reverend Keith Gadsden, who was freed by the longest serving state senator in New York State history, Thelma Eddie Montgomery, or also Nolan Farrell, who actually has a letter from the Queensborough Queens District Attorney. Once again, that's not directly in your district, right? Her name's Melinda Katz. They have a letter that says that the evidence used against them is faulty. Will you support a review of cases and compensation for the wrongfully incarcerated?
I mean, of course,
Appreciate that.
that's like a no-brainer, right?
Hey,
It's
yeah,
just justice. For me,
you know,
it's justice. I
I appreciate
cannot
that.
tell you.
A lot
I
of
am.
Democrats are ducking this. Number one, number two. There's also George Grasso, who ran against Melinda Katz, even would not cover this issue. So yeah, that wasn't the last time they were running, but there was actually the other district attorney candidate did actually join us. So you never know.
Oh
But I
wow,
appreciate you standing up for that one.
that's
Yeah,
like a no-brainer. I'm sorry, just like it's justice. You think I'm gonna spend a day in jail if I didn't do anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh my
yeah.
lord.
All right. The next question is, okay, right now, I actually do a lot of work with people with disabilities, and there's something called the Helen Keller Institute, where they actually do not actually, they've never had a leader of their organization who's actually deafblind themselves. And this actually, while they say that they're working on access, people who are deafblind are actually wanting to have authentic representation. And another thing about that is the first deafblind graduate, I think, at Harvard history to graduate from the law school is also supporting this program as Mark Zafman, someone who I work with. Would you support authentic representation with regards to people and disabilities advocacy?
It
Yeah,
hits to my core.
thank you. Thank
It literally hits to my core. I don't want to start like crying, but um my daughter is on the spectrum. And I do say it all the time. She was failed by the system, and that's why I'm a fierce parent advocate. I I know that the system doesn't get it right all the time, and this is why I take my time and do a one-on-one with parents, explaining them of their rights, how to speak to the doctors, how to speak to their teachers, their principals, superintendents, and how to advocate for the IEP, how to advocate for the 504. It comes from the bottom. We have to educate our parents so they can fight for the children, so they can provide authentic representation for their own children. And this is why it hits my heart, because for years my daughters went over the years undiagnosed, and I knew something was going on. I'm like, what's going on? Something's happening. She's not learning, she's not digesting, she's not comprehending the different ways that she should be going to. I have 3 kids. They're all different. You cannot teach the same material from one child to the other child to the other child. You have to look deep inside and like get to know the child. So this is why it hits my system. I truly believe in true representation, authentic representation. If you say you're gonna advocate for ABC, then you gotta do the ABC.
absolutely true. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are not directly affected or impacted by these policies who have their hands all over it, and that's why
Yes.
they're willing to let certain things happen that people that are actually
Mm-hmm.
out in the community would never tolerate because we feel
Mm-hmm.
protected. Yeah,
Exactly. Don't just vote for the person that says, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Actually, know that they have been doing the work, they're still ready, and they will continue to do the work if something doesn't go the right way.
yeah. There's a lot of forces pulling on them, so you need someone
Mhm.
who has a history of work. You know,
Yes, the
own,
history of passing on the baton. We got to break that. Here, you're next. No, not really. There's other leaders more.
just so you know, I, I've been working actually for quite some time to get a public meeting with myself and Corey Edens with the CUNY Chancellor and the Hunter College President, Nancy Cantor, as well as other college presidents from the CUNY system, um, to address different abuses that are happening to students and also excessive, pay for I think the chancellor's making over $700,000 a year. He actually $6,000, $100,000 in paycheck, and then I think he gets like over $7,000 for just a monthly living allowance.
I cannot tell
Right?
you the
That's a lot.
many things that I see that I am. Why is this person making so much money when they are not even doing their own job? They come in here. The kids start school. Most of the schools start 8 a.m. No problem. We see parent coordinators coming at 8:30. I see principals coming at 8:15. Aren't you supposed to be in the building before the children are there? But you know what? I will continue advocating for the children. I don't care how much you make. I want you to do the work. You're getting paid thousands of dollars. Please serve our children. No children, you don't have a job. Plain and simple. We got
Yeah.
to do better for the children. I am not going anywhere. I hold every single position, including the chancellor's cabinet. So I can tell you we have a direct connection. We'll speak to her every single month, if not 3 times per month, regarding all the issues that we see firsthand, because we're outside. Parent leaders, we're outside around the neighborhoods, protecting our children, speaking on behalf of our children and families.
All right.
So we gotta do right by for our children.
So you would support a public meeting between myself and Corey Edens, along with the chancellor and the college presidents.
And I can tell you she will be willing. I that's who she is. She's very open. She connects. She's very transparent. That's for what I have seen. I've known her before she was chancellor. I've known her before she was the deputy chancellor. Before she was the
Are you
chief
talking
of
about the
staff.
chancellor of SUNY or CUNY? Because CUNY, I think, is Felix Matos.
Oh,
Uh, but I think
I
you might be talking about
apologize.
or the
Which
Hunter
one
College
were you
president
speaking
chancellor.
on?
Which one?
Melissa Aviles Ramos or the other
It might be
chancellor?
chancellor of one, maybe the other school program. Yeah, I'm sorry. Talking about CUNY. I know CUNY and SUNY sound the same. That's College University of New York.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Of course. Meeting with anyone that has to do the work.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Of
The
course.
next question comes. I was actually someone whose work I respect is Christopher Leon Johnson. He actually is the most prolific reporter, I believe, in New York City history. And I asked him what he thought was important issue, and he's talking about e-bikes. We know that e-bikes are lighting on fires in some apartments. We know that there's also like 20 e-bikes on the sidewalks, sometimes outside restaurants. What's your position regarding e-bike regulation?
I seriously do not like them. That's just my personal opinion. My daughter was hurt a couple of years ago because that e-bike was going a little too fast. They shouldn't be on the roads. They shouldn't be on the sidewalk. That's for people to walk. Okay. I'm not gonna rush moving out of your way because you coming like 100 miles per hour. Um, they're dangerous. And I definitely would love to see help implement a policy where we either remove them or we provide a plate number that they will have to come into the motor vehicles, register their actually e-bike, and pay insurance. God forbid they do hit someone, that person is able to start a lawsuit.
All right. Also, what? Okay, so right now, Brooklyn Chinatown actually has the longest and the largest mobilization of Asian Americans in New York City history is happening in Brooklyn Chinatown, and they're fighting to prevent the building of a homeless shelter in their community. Now we know that there's Manhattan Chinatown has 8 homeless shelters, as well as they're building a mega jail there, and we know that Harlem, right, even though they only have about 1.4% of the New York City population, they have 10% of all the homeless shelter, adult people housed in that particular area. There is some kind of like redlining that's going on. Would you support Brooklyn Chinatown that fight to prevent the building of a homeless shelter in their community?
This is very is is complicated because I do believe in people having a place, like a safe space to sleep. Doesn't matter if they're homeless or not. We should be able, to like respect everyone's humanity. I see it on a daily basis. People outside of my neighborhood sleeping outside in the trains. And I'm like, oh Lord, if I could build homes everywhere with with a wang, I would really build homes everywhere so they can have proper healthcare, a proper place so they can live that is, you know, dignified of humanity. I have been for a little while homeless myself, so I know what it is to be outside in the streets. Um, it really hits me. It really hits me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm good. The fact that you've been through it also means that you're exposed to the system or learn about the system in a different level. So that's actually very good, and it's probably why you are more hands-on. That makes some sense to me. All right. So the next question is another community I work with is actually the trans community. Now I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question in this particular case. So the thing is that in this case, let's pretend that we know that people who are trans face a lot of discrimination in their jobs, they face discrimination in housing. So let's suppose that 10%, this is hypothetical. Let's suppose that 10% of the people applying for public housing are trans. And then we do a study, and then we see that only 1% of the people in public housing are trans. So we go and talk to the community. We say, what's going on? They say we're getting beat up, we're getting disrespected. People are, we feel intimidated. We're leaving of our own accord. So the thing is that you see these numbers are kind of like now there's no law saying that you can discriminate trans people. In fact, there's probably laws saying that you can't discriminate against them. But you see this phenomenon happening anyways. What can you do to protect fair access for government services to the trans community?
I think this is a problem that I see on a daily basis, and we have to take a stand. Everyone is a human being, and we have only one earth. There's no two, there's no three. We have to respect everyone's opinions and likes and dislikes. uh, I do believe that trans are our most vulnerable population right now, because a lot of them also have a special disabilities, and they go in life without knowing them, unfortunately. And I think, again, my core is education, and I think everything starts from the bottom. Like, you gotta educate parents, you gotta educate families, because most trans are don't feel protected in their own homes. So if we empower families to support their youth into being who they are, they will be empowered to advocate on themselves, on behalf of themselves, for everyone else. And I think, when it comes to the 10% of housing allocated, why is that not being done? I think because they're scared that they might not have the leader that will speak on their behalf. But I
Okay,
am
wait, so that's a rare answer, just so you know. So, and I'm glad you actually addressed that because that is part of the question, right? This 10%, 1% idea,
there.
right? The idea that so you would actually do the that actually implies the suggestion of quotas, right? So you're saying
Mm-hmm.
so if there's 10% of people that are right one particular group that you expect there to be 10% of the representation, and if not, something's wrong.
Exactly. And
Okay.
why are we Like we have to also advertise it, advertise that there's housing specifically for vulnerable population. That's also not been happening.
Okay, that's a rare answer, but it's good to understand your um, approach to the solutions here. Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now that that's pretty much the questions about the questions from my allies. Now we can just ask about your own particular specialties. You come to this field, right? What topics? The federal government takes care of, like, what, the military takes care of, like, delivering the mail. The city is in charge of education, is in charge of the police force. What areas? I know that it sounds like you do like a lot of social work, but what topics are you specializing in, as in terms of city, maintenance, I guess.
Yeah, I literally do a little of of everything, of everything from obviously being a mama of three. I am my kids advocate. I am my kids everything. I am a kids own educator, right? And I keep on saying it because I do strongly believe it. Everything comes from home. Education comes from home, and that doesn't mean that is a mom and a dad home 24/7. Home is comes in different shapes, in different numbers, and if we like educate our children to advocate for themselves, we'll have better leaders. We'll definitely have better leaders, and we're definitely going to have to change, especially because the community needs it. I support, and again, like I previously said, my phone number is out there, is public, and anyone has access to my phone number that is able to help me. I don't charge, and people think that I'm making the hundreds of thousands. I actually don't charge people, and for any of my support, from the legal support, because I am a paralegal for the past 2 decades. um, I don't charge for my notary service. I don't charge for legal support, advice of like mental support, um, any parent leadership support that I also do, that especially the specialized education. Everything is for free. I do translations for free for parents, for individuals. Like, people call me even when they don't have heat in their own developments. And I'm like, okay, don't worry. We got it. Come down. Like, even if I have to buy you a heater, I got you for now. And we'll come up with a better solution. I think we lost you. Oh, you're good. Okay. You're good.
I understand. Yeah, there's quite a bit of different. There's so many different aspects to, like, different, from repairs to housing to the education system that you're talking about. There's so many different angles that I'm thinking about. Now, as in terms of this is actually come up with this actually now I'm freestyling now. From other campaigns, sometimes people talk about gifted and talented programs, or they talk about like that SHSAT. That's also usually a popular topic that comes around in New York City education. Or also, I know you have like some experience. You said like this about like getting disability, appropriate educational accommodations. What are your experiences with education? I guess from the things that I mentioned right there, or what's your take on those particular issues?
I'm so glad you asked. Oh my God, I get so excited for every question. I don't think you're gonna have any other candidate more excited than me. But education is my everything. When I came to this country, obviously I didn't know the language. I'm Peruvian, coming from a different country, being thrown into school. There we go, without any support at all. Mind you, my mom doesn't speak English either. So it's like I had to force myself to learn, right? Thank goodness to those three teachers that actually took their time to teach me English, to be patient with my pronunciation, and the learning. It is really difficult to learn another language. Um, And when it comes to special education, I cannot tell you, I am my daughter's advocate from the medical field to the education field so she can get all the services she needs in order to thrive. She is now on in the 8th grade, and oh my God, I cannot tell you, she is in the student council. She is presenting a community boards meeting, advocating for more funding for her school. It is something that I still cried about. And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, oh my God, this is my daughter that barely was able to speak, that barely was able to do eye contact, that barely was able to like get close to people because she's very shy. It is unbelievable. When it comes to the gifted and talented, I was actually I moved my one of my 3 kids to another school because they had the lowest size classes, and it turns out it's a gifted and talented school. I did not know. So it makes no difference, by the way, in education. At least for me, I have not seen that, but I know that every single child, in my perspective, and what I have seen, is special, is unique. We all learn differently, and I think this is a call out to the teachers to take more time to know their students. It's not just knowing that student, but also where they come from. Every single child carries a bag, and that bag is invisible. You cannot see the traumas. You cannot see if they ate or not. You cannot see if they had their time to sleep. You cannot see all the things that they do carry. And this is why, oh, sorry, this is why I keep on educating parents, because starts from the parent. It starts from that legal guardian. Again, it doesn't have to be a parent, because I know a lot of foster moms and dads that are doing amazing, and they do anything and everything for their children. And I'm just proud that I'm able to help a family, a parent, advocate for their own child. That's just my everything. That's my day. That's my week. That's my everyday.
I was a substitute teacher for a while, so I was like jumping around the different schools, and I did one thing that I did notice was when I were working with some kids that were from like the poorer areas versus sometimes the richer areas. Sometimes the richer areas, the what happened was that the parents had to be accommodated more. So the thing is that when the kids have, if the kids were after school, right? Like if it's the kids is supposed to pick up the kids at 3 o'clock, if the kids were unruly, right? Right, I'd slow them down, but the parents cannot be inconvenienced. So chop chop. And the thing is that the kids that sometimes, especially a little bit older, if they're from those more wealthy or you know GNT programs, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily so bad on the kids because I feel the difference in the kids is less than the adults, but
Yeah.
they also look at you a little bit more as the help versus right just someone to a teacher to listen to or to respect. And I do feel like that also colors, um, and not always on the kids' behalf, right? The type of education that they receive because the
Mhm.
teachers are so scared of trying to be accommodating for the parents. And that's really one thing that I do see in the education. So a lot of the parents fight for the GNT program, fight the teachers. Give my kid this recommendation, give my kid this A, give my kid this, and it's scary for them, and they have to deal with this all the time, and it does impact what they're teaching the kids. So I just throwing that out there.
No, no, you
Yeah,
are absolutely right. I've heard so many crazy things from, I'm not able to afford the $3,000 tutoring for my kids to go into gifted and talented. And I'm like, why do I need to pay for my child to get the education that they deserve? First of all, right?
yeah. They
Quality
learn from the same
education
syllabus. It's not,
everywhere.
yeah. It's not like it's not like kids in second grade are all of a sudden learning like calculus. It's not.
Absolutely not.
They learn the same
Absolutely not.
syllabus. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes it does make a difference, but sometimes not. So we asked about the GNT. What about the SHSAT? How do you feel about that?
Well, let me tell
Some people
you,
aren't afraid of it. Some people say they want to keep it. How do you feel?
I personally, I don't care. I don't believe that my child is mighty highly than yours. All children, again, all children learn differently. And having that special adult to support them is everything. It doesn't have to be the biological mom. There's foster parents doing the work. You know what I mean? There's adoption parents doing the work. For me, it was my grandma. My mom was never, ever around. And I can't blame her. She was working 24/7, right? So for me, it was my grandma. So for somebody else, it can be someone else. Maybe the aunt, maybe the uncle. You know what I mean? It comes from home. Like special specialized high school. My child wasn't interested. She said, absolutely not. Well, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm like, I am very supportive of my children's education, whatever they want, whatever. I'm always a believer. Yes, I'm the first believer. When I ask her about it, do you want a tutoring? She's like, oh, mom, no, 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 I'm not doing that. It's a waste of my time. I'm like, okay, good. We're on the same page. Waste of her time. Beautiful.
I understand, right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. There's a lot of tools that are available also on the internet, right? As in terms of learning that are
Yeah.
actually free.
And for me, it's not which school do you go that is going to make you famous. It's about the child and what resources that child has and what opportunities the school has for that specific child, and also being involved, right? I am involved in all my three kids education. I'm everywhere, from SLTs to DLT to Title Ones, PAPTA meetings. I'm there. We need to be involved, and sometimes some of us are more involved than others, but that's okay because now we have the Zoom feature, recording feature, and there's papers that you're able to review and also speak to your principals, speak to your teachers. There's so many resources that a parent can do to support their own child's education.
Okay. Besides education, are there any other particular fields that you feel like you may have expertise in, as in with regards towards running the city?
Yes, please. Oh my goodness, I was waiting for this question.
Okay.
So what brought me here? It was the immigration reform. I I am in disagreement to anything that our current president has to say about our immigrants, families, and friends. Any laws, any bills that he might have signed. I'm sorry. I'm an immigrant myself. And we live in what again, we live in one earth. We're all brothers and sisters, like it or not. Um, he's also an immigrant himself. I don't understand the hate. I want to reform this immigration policy. I want accurate and reliable system that works for our immigrant friends and families. We have immigrants didn't just come in 2 years and a half ago. No, we've been here for years and years and years. And now those families have grandkids, those families have kids of their own, their aunts, their uncles. They're still here. I want something like I'm gonna do a policy where they're protected. I
There may
want
be some points where there is some agreement. We'll see. I'm just going to ask a couple, I think, of the more key issues that I think really my audience that I'm picking up nowadays with on the Republican side might have questions about. So the thing is that I do agree with you that immigrants. I've been living with immigrants my whole life, and most of them are hardworking, and most of them are actually afraid to actually be confrontational because of their status.
yes,
So they actually accept a lot of subpar conditions, and I respect them for that. They're not having an easy life, but there's also stories of people coming in, especially in this last wave, that were actually engaged in some type of like illegal behavior, stealing, maybe even hitting police officers.
right.
Do you agree that immigrants that are here that are actually causing havoc or victimizing people should be deported?
Personally, it's like And I'm going to be very, very honest. You don't come to a different country to hurt people. You come to do the work. You come for the American dream. You want to progress. If you're coming here to do crimes, then you need to go back, not
I
here.
appreciate that. Yeah, and just so you know, from my own personal experience, sometimes the people who are the most victimized are other immigrants that are here, right, undocumented. They are the ones who are really victimized by these individuals.
But
So
by their actions, by the negativity that they're causing.
not only that, but they also are victims because they can't report very easily. So they're actually targeted by these. If they're out there robbing from citizens who have some protection, what are they doing to the people who don't? It's really so. I feel for them, and they're like I said, most of them are very nice people, and they deserve better. So,
Yes. Yes,
I,
they are. I know them.
so look, if
I
the
know
person
them.
has been doing crime, I do agree that they should be got rid of. But if the person is actually productive, maybe they can get a chance. So I'm also don't want to piss off
Absolutely.
our Republican friends, but I do believe that if immigrants are here and being productive, hey, why not, right? That's
And helping. And
helping them.
they're volunteering
Yeah,
their date and time to be productive, to support students, to support families, and support their neighbors. And do you know that they also pay taxes? Yes,
I
immigrants
also
pay taxes.
I also feel like the H-1B visa also victimizes Asian Americans because the thing is that a lot of times they will take people from out of the country and then it looks diverse because they have Asian faces there. But the thing is that all those Asians are from Asia. But if you're Asian American, then they don't want to invest in you to really help you succeed in any way. Like they have their cheap diversity already. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, yes. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Asians and Latinos actually have a lot in common on these particular issues, right? Because a lot of times we're left behind in these particular discussions or our issues are not really understood either. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
have a lot of heavy Asian population in Peru, believe me.
yeah,
I definitely know how hardworking they are, and it's natural to want to have better things and provide for your family. But if you're here to do wrong, to kill someone, to hurt someone, to victimize, no.
yeah. So within the all the groups, Democrats, Republicans, socialists, capitalists, whatever, right? Conservatives, they all have factions. So you can all work to within the different groups to try to
Mm,
the group is really made up of individuals who determine what that group's identity is. So I do feel some allyship with the cause that you're talking about, and I hope that doesn't really. Some people will be not happy about that, but it is what I accept that. I still represent my brand, so
no,
I
I agree. Like, again, we don't have to agree on everything, but we have to respect each other's opinions,
yeah,
because we're not the same person.
yeah,
Even twins don't think the same. You know what I mean? So, like,
true.
we're different persons coming from different cultures and different values. We're adults. We have to respect each other. We have to listen to each other and just disagree. We can disagree on a lot of things, but at the end of the road, right, we have to respect it.
Also just being someone whose story is not really often acknowledged or heard. Like right now, there's a lot of talk about the anti-war movement, but my people have been victims of war, so we actually have a different perspective that we could bring to that. Which right, all you don't hear about from Russians, Ukrainians. You don't hear from even white victims of war, right? So I know in terms of being Peruvian, you have a whole different set of perspectives and background that can actually be brought to bring unique solutions to issues that are going on within our communities. So I do believe that there's some unique value to be had by that. I'm very interested in learning more and working with you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Always ready and willing.
All right. So, how can people find out more about your campaign? You have a website, you have social media. How can people follow your work?
Yes, I do have a website. It's called Rosa Cares. Literally rosacares.com. I'm there.
Okay.
And if you want to know my cell phone, just Google me. You can go to Google, Rosa Diaz East Harlem. Literally, my cell phone number appears there, and my email also appears there. So,
Okay, so I just shared the rosacares.com. That's where you guys could
yeah.
go. I believe the social media should also be linked up over there, right? You have Facebook and Twitter and those kinds of things.
Yes, yes, yes. Instagram. I have Instagram. Again, Rosa Diaz. Rosa cares.
Okay. And now that people have your information, the last question will be where can people, unless there's anything you want to bring up, but now that you have people have your information, what do they have to look forward to? You got any events coming up? You got a fundraiser, maybe a town hall, anything you got coming up for yourself?
So I do have a fundraising coming up. I'll send you the information so you can blast it out. I am all my events that I attend and do are gonna be in the Instagram at Rosa Cares, and just looking forward. Every single day, I'm doing something.
I'm just gonna actually, before we go, I do want to just talk a little bit of shop. Just so the thing is that right now, I think that you're running in the Harlem, South Bronx area, and that's actually Diana Ayala's district, I believe, and she's actually supporting one of her, I think, chief of staff who's running.
Yeah.
So this happens a lot, just so you know, folks. A lot of people don't really know, but there's this kind of like dynasty legacy that kind of goes on with all of the legislators, where they kind of pass it down. And to tell you the truth, is that really a good thing? It's kind of problematic because you have these kinds of dynasties forming where it's not really democratic, right? There's kind of like passing down the torch. So, but I do know Diana Ayala has been kind of like a fixture in the community. She's very well known. Her connections with her network will be very strong because of her incumbent position for a long time. How do you plan on taking that on?
So I'm so glad you asked because I am more well known. I am everywhere. I don't just go places because I'm paid to go places and take cute pictures, right? I just don't show up to ribbon cutting just because I'm paid to do so. I am everywhere because I actually do care. I care
Yeah.
what happens with the youth. I care what happens to my seniors. I care about healthcare. I care about immigration, education. I actually do care and have been doing the work. And regardless of the outcome, I'm still going to be there.
So the community basically, right? The community right now, it's good. Yeah. So
Yes, the community knows me.
all right.
Everywhere I go, people say hi to me in
Are
different
there any other
places.
are there any other candidates that are really I think you said there's 7 or 8 candidates who's running for the position right now?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm like, who is this person again? Wait a minute. Is this
A
person
lot of
running again?
what we talked about earlier, right? Not only is it people who were, the assistants for the previous councilwoman who will run, but there's also people who were in state assembly, a lot of millionaires. They'll kind of pass back and forth, city council, state assembly, and they'll go back and forth, or they'll get like a paid position or appointed somewhere. And it's like a cycle of like little insider friends that kind of pass it amongst themselves. Are there any other I wouldn't doubt if there's another like potential big shots running for the race. Is there anybody else notable that you've seen in your race so far?
I know two of them.
Okay.
Uh, One of them is running again, and I don't know why. Um, I know like maybe they can afford the postcards to send it to people and say, "Hey, I'm doing ABC," and people are like, "Hey, Rosa, this person just sent me a postcard. Who is that?" And I'm like, oh, that's
That's
all
pretty
you need
expensive,
to
just
know.
so you know. I think it's like about 10,000 for a direct mailer. Do you know what I'm talking? I've actually looked into sending direct mailers.
Now you're
That's
wasting people's money. You see what
that's
I
not
mean?
that's not
It's
cheap.
like,
Yeah.
come on, just go outside, meet people. Don't say, yes, I'm doing this and I'm doing that when you're actually not. No one knows you. Everyone is sending me a text saying, hey, who is this person? And I'm like, you don't need to know them. It's okay. You know me and I'm good.
There is brand recognition, right? Yeah. So they really they're trying to get the
Yes,
word out.
because I've been there helping them, supporting them. Non-pay. Non-pay. This is what people don't know. If you see some of the elected of the some of the candidates, they're going there because they're getting paid to do so, not because they love to do so. So there's a
Oh,
difference.
yeah, and they have other interests that they're protecting over longer periods of time because
Yeah.
sometimes they get to know industry players, and there starts to be right, especially the real estate industry. There's all kinds of like shenanigans that's going on. So, and really, it's up to the community to really investigate these things and
Right.
take a correct stand. So, yeah, I think actually there might be even someone else who was running for his District 8 who actually emailed me saying that they wanted to participate in the upcoming town hall we got coming up. Fico Ortiz, do you know who that is? I think that may be one of your competitors running against. So we're gonna see. Yeah, it's all good.
No
So
idea.
don't
No
worry about it. All
idea.
right. So yeah. All right. So hey, thanks again, folks, for checking it out. Any other last things you want to tell say out there to
Yeah,
watching?
I would love to. Like, I believe in my community. I believe in the people that they're going to be smarter in choosing a better person to represent us, not just a person that will say and promise things and at the end under delivers and never commits. I am already committed. I am passionate about the community work and going here and there supporting families. I know the system. Like, I am knowledgeable and experienced to continue the work, and I know I am the better candidate.
All right. So I think it should take about like maybe around 7,000 votes for you to win. Um, so from now, like I think the primary should be less, right, for you to actually win that one. We'll see. So that comes up in June. It's not that far away, 4 months away. All right. Okay. So thanks again. Yeah. God bless.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. I just hit end stream. Give me a second. We'll do just us alone.